Your advice for young mothers to be.
The band is called, I don't know, the band isn't really called The Veils. It's kind of, we named ourselves before the huge amount of the bands that came out a little while ago. And it was more just meant to be a name for kind of the project in general, like rather than a specific bunch of people. I've always loved the kind of the storytelling aspect of songwriting, and there's so many things you can do with it. You know, I don't feel like with that set in our ways of any style at the moment. You know, I love a lot of folk music. I love a lot of rock and roll and a lot of blues and all these things. I mean, I don't know. It's just they're all just names for the same thing in my opinion. The first record, I was kind of you're slightly afraid of what you're doing in a way. I think when you start, and I was pretty young when I did that record, and I was like 17 when it came. Like when we finished recording it and stuff, and pretty clueless as to what the whole process was about. And I don't know, and just in terms of singing and songwriting, you know, it's a constant learning process. And I think they're very much, because of the age that I was when I wrote them, they're all very concerned with first experience, and I don't know, they're quite large emotions on that first record, and large feelings, which is, you know, a very adolescent thing. I think as you get a little older, you know things. I think that's what I mean by becoming clearer. Things are very swollen when you're teens, and everything is kind of bigger and scarier than it perhaps is. But there's also great stuff that comes out of that, because it's, you know, you're discovering all these things, and so those songs are very important to me for that reason. Government or God, it is one and the same thing to me, possibly from having parents that are very kind of atheistic, but also, I don't know, they kind of let me get away with everything growing up. I never really had a real kind of parental figure, and you know, everywhere where religion and government are so directly influenced by each other, and now the idea of the president being, you know, told what to do by some higher power than him, you know, the whole thing is just getting more and more blurred and bizarre, and it can't help but affect your work when you're living in a time like that. I hated it. I would kind of rather have someone kind of openly trying to shove something down my throat, rather than this kind of sly thing of, I don't know, it's something I personally have always found kind of a curious thing. I think just never sign with a major label. Never ever do it, because it is, I don't know anyone that's worked well for, really. It's always, it's just hellish, I think. It's totally against everything that making great music is about. Majors, it's a nasty pit to fall into. Yeah, not so much a friendship, just to have a relationship with these people that's beyond just purely we happen to be in the same room, you know, doing this together. I think there should be some other link between you. But I think music is so transparent as well, like you can really hear those relationships in bands, and so it was important to me to find with Liam and Sophia, the kind of core of this band, and people that there is an innate understanding with, and similar desire for, you know, what we want.
Your advice for young mothers to be.